Hi there everybody, it's Verity here from Inkybutterfly.com. Thank you so much for joining me for the Stamp Around the World video hop. Okay, so today the theme is everyday life. So I've gone with something just nice and generic and just an everyday card just to wish someone all the best. The hop itself, we've got participants from all over the world participating with their videos, all using Stampin' Up products. So in the description, if you click below, there will be links to all those projects for you to have a look at and see how everybody else has interpreted this particular theme. Okay, so I'm going to be using all a flutter with the banner sayings for the greeting, and I've got moody leaves for the background, and I'm also going to use the perennial postage dies, which I forgot to get out. So perennial postage, then I've got a square here that we're going to use, and then there are some rectangular shapes. So there's this second one here is the one that we're going to use for the background. Okie dokie, let's make a start. So let's see, we're going to do a little bit of stamping and colouring, I think. So we want everything to have plenty of time to dry. Okay, so I've already got this square cut out ready, and I've got a little teeny tiny piece of fresh freesia. This is soft sea foam, and that is the same ink that I used in the background. Okay, so we're going to use some black ink to stamp our little sentiment. I'm going to use the same one, wishing you good things, and we'll just grab some black ink here and get that stamped and leave it to dry so that we can just cut those little banners out afterwards. So we'll just pop that on there. The strip itself is 2 inches long and 3/8 of an inch wide. Okay, so we've got that, and we'll leave that to one side to dry. I'm just going to get that wiped off, and then we can start doing some colouring on our butterflies. So these ones are already stamped and allowed to dry, and we're going to use watercolour pencils to colour these in. So I've already grabbed these out. We're going to use the fresh freesia, and we're going to use Gorgeous Grape to give our butterflies the colour that we want. Okay, so we're going to go with, this was sort of greens and blues, so I'm going to go with pinks and purples on this one. So I'm going to drop in some fresh freesia on the inside of these. Just do what you think, really. There's no right or wrong when you're colouring all of these things. I love butterflies, so I loved it seeing this added to the catalogue. So just sort of scribbling this in, if you like, right? Okay, and a little bit down here, and we'll do this down here. Okay, so that's fresh freesia, and then we'll use the Gorgeous Grape, and we'll drop in some stuff around the edges. So just scribbling it on, because what we'll do is we'll use a blending or blender pen to just merge those colours together and smooth out those lines. I'm not going to worry about slightly going over the edges. We're going to use the coordinating punch to cut out these images, so it's going to be all grand. So this blender brush, then just going to take that from the outside into the centre, and just that's going to sort of spread that pencil, smooth out the lines and give us a nice coloured look. So hopefully you can see the difference between this one and this one. Okay, just smoothing out those lines. Really nice, quick way to colour. As long as you're using a waterproof ink, whatever your preference, this will turn out beautifully. If you've only got water-based ink, you could emboss the lines and then colour over the top. Okay, they're lovely. Okay, lovely. Right, nice quick easy colouring with those pencils. Okay, and we'll use the coordinating punch, cuts all three at the same time. But what we need to do first, and it's going to be easier to do now, is add my wink of Stella. You see the shimmer on these? Hopefully you can. It's really hard to catch on camera, but it's really nice in real life. I'm going to pop some of that on there. Haven't yet got the brand new ones in the in colours. Oops, went outside the lines a little bit there. This will pull the colour. You see that's pulled the colour a little bit. So you could use this to do a bit of your blending together as well. Okay, so that's going to take a few minutes to dry properly, but we can punch them out and leave them to one side so that they can dry fully. So I'm just taking some time just to make sure I've got that lined up, so as I don't want to cut out. Why isn't that lining up as well as it should? Overthinking it. Maybe my stamp was a bit bendy. Okay, there we go. So we've got our butterflies ready to go. Got our sentiment ready to go. We just need to do our background now. So I'm just going to take some not basic white, willow white. And I've got the Moody Leaves already popped onto the Stampin' positioner. So I'm just going to place that paper and we'll pop that down on here. I'm going to hold it in place with the magnets, and as we did with the sample card here, so the ink colour coordinates with the sentiment banner and sort of ties in with the colours of the butterflies. So we're going to use Fresh Freesia. Could bring in Bubble Bath, something a little lighter, but we're gonna stick with the plan and do this. So I want to get that nice and well inked up, and then turn it over, get your Stampin' Up logo the lot bit up, and we're going to press that down on there. So use a soft cloth or something to help you press evenly over this, and you'll probably have to stamp it twice, which is why we're using the positioner, so that we can lift that up and we can go again, re-ink it. This is one of my well used ink pads, so it's going to potentially take 3 attempts to get this done, but that's the beauty of using a positioner. You can reapply and restamp this as much as we need to make sure we get the look that we want. And actually, I don't think I'm too bothered if it looks a little paler in some areas compared to others. Might just give it one more go. Just pressing that across the top. This, in fairness, this ink pad could do with a re-inking. Use it quite a lot, so that's probably not helping either. Okay, so let's just go once more and we'll call it good. And you can see where it hasn't made contact, or whether there might be some bits that need a little bit of extra pressure, but that will do just nicely. That'll do. Okay, so let's pull that off, and we'll clean that off properly once we've got everything cut and die cut and things. Just thinking on the fly there, because I want to ink around the edges a little bit, and I was just thinking about what colour to use. On this die cut, there's these interesting shaped leaves, and then you've got the open ones as well. So I'm trying to capture as much of the different style of leaf as possible. Okay, just like I did on the original. So we'll run that through the die cut machine, which I've just got set up just to one side here. So I'll just run that through quick. So I've just put that through at a little bit of an angle, just to make sure that, just to make it easier. Okay, so that's our background piece that we've got here. And like I say, we would like to add some ink, so I'm going to grab a little bit of scrap paper. I'm going to bring in the gorgeous grape, which is the ink, the contrasting ink that we've been using, and then grab a brush. I don't want loads of ink, I just want a little bit of a suggestion of that darker colour, just to make it pop a little bit, and it will catch on those die cut edges. And just intensify that a little bit, and you can add more. So if you go nice and light, you can always add more if you want to. You can also do like a flicking motion around the edges if you want to, which again gives you more of a sort of distressed sort of look to it. And do some parts heavier than others. Like in the corners and that. So that's cool. And then if you need to blend it a little, go around the edges. Okay, that's cool. So that was gorgeous grape. And then we can start putting things together. Okay, so we're just using a plain white card base, so this will be thick basic white, so always use that for my plain card bases if I'm not using coloured cardstock. And we'll pop that on the card front. So I'm just looking to get this won't fit exactly with an even border everywhere, but just make sure your left and right borders look even, and the rest will just fit in. If it's supposed to be a bit higher than that, then that's fine. Okay, our little square is going to be popped up on dimensionals, so we'll get that on there next. So again, you want to make sure that it's left and right, it's even. The rest of that isn't going to matter too much. I'm looking to try and get the three sides roughly even around here. Hopefully that looks about right. Okay, I'm going to pop the sentiment on next, but we need to just put in our little flag kind of edges on there. So if you've got some kind of punch that will do this, so there is a coordinating banner punch that goes with this sentiment set. So you could use that if you have it, or you can just snip in at the centre, then cut in from the corners. Okay, to get a similar effect. Okay, so whichever you prefer. Okay, let's get those bits out of the way. So I'm going to need some little bits to pop on the back of that. The edge strips on your dimensionals are really good for this kind of thing. So let's use that. And we'll pop that underneath. Like so. And we just need to add our butterflies. So I'm just going to pinch those wings. If your punch has been a little bit naughty and not done quite what it needs to, you can trim around it a little bit more. So I'm going to take a bit of this white off. There we go. A little bit of fixing along the way. Okay, so just pinch those a little bit, and we'll use some of our Tombow adhesive on the centres there. So we'll have that one flying off there. We'll have this one flying towards the centre. I want those postage edges to show. Could have inked around the edges of them, but I wanted to keep them bright white and contrast the other, you know, the purple that's actually in the butterflies themselves. Okay, there we go. And the final touch is some iridescent pearls. So we'll use our odd numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. There we go, just to make that look nice. And that is the card for today. So don't forget to click the description so you can see what everyone else has made today. Really would appreciate if you could drop some likes and comments on everybody, so that we can grow our channels. And if you haven't been here before, hit that subscribe and notification bell, so you'll see more of these in the future. We do this every month. We've got the UK version every month as well, plus other bits in between. So I hope you've enjoyed this one and it's given you some ideas. I really like this layout. It's really, really cute. I love how that purple's turned out. I think it's really dramatic. So I hope you've enjoyed it too. That's it from me. Stay safe, take care, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.